Good evening. Welcome to Pennsylvania Inside Out Issues. I'm David Price. Tonight we take things to the other side, the unexplained, the paranormal. Next weekend marks the 4th annual National Paranormal Conference, and it is being held right here in central Pennsylvania. And there are a lot of questions inherent in the word paranormal, like what exactly does it cover? What's the relation to religion? And what's the interplay between the two? To help us work through some of those questions and more tonight are Ryan Buell, currently a senior at Penn State, but someone who's been deeply involved in paranormal research since he was 15, and Adam Bly, one of the few psychologists working in the realm of paranormal in the United States. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Fascinating topic, and there's this sense of everybody has this little interest in, well, is it paranormal? Is it ghost? Is it goblins? Is it everything I can't explain? What is the paranormal? What are we talking about here?
Well, I'd say that the paranormal is anything that cannot be explained through science or through logic, and that could be anything. I mean, beforehand, it would be considered paranormal as to whether or not the world was flat or not, or what was space made up of. Paranormal researchers, however, we try to stick to specific fields of interest. One is mainly the ghost phenomena, such as, mainly that's the age-old question: where do we go after we die? I mean, so that's the big one, the one that we focus on as well.
And Adam, you and I were talking before the program, and this is associated with PRS, is the group at Penn State with which you are associated. And something that you pointed out is this is an academic endeavor. PRS is an academic endeavor, and you're talking about something that is spiritual very much in nature, and you're looking at it from a scientific perspective. How do you look at the unexplained, wanting quantitative analysis?
Well, the important thing about PRS is that it's a combination of like service and science. And so our number one goal is to help people. And then along the way, we're trying to learn about what's going on. The nature of science is to push those boundaries of what we understand, like Ryan had said. 300 years ago, it might have been paranormal to wonder what's in the woods, what's in the dark. And as science grows and human knowledge grows, that boundary of what is unknown gets smaller and smaller. Some of the few remaining questions are life after death and these type of things. What's going on when black mists appear in people's homes? Stuff gets thrown around. People might be physically attacked. These kind of questions are still unknown. And so we're trying to push those boundaries and go into those rare circumstances and maybe try to get a sense of what's happening.
What is going on?
A lot of things. It seems as if paranormal phenomena is picking up. And you'd think it'd be the direct opposite since, our society is more technologically advanced. But there are more people reporting hauntings. There are more people reporting that they're possessed, if you will, or seeing UFOs. One priest told us once that as religion is abandoned, people will start moving towards the superstitious. We have seen a drop in religion, and so maybe people, maybe that's directly with science or directed to science, but a lot of people, they're still searching for answers, and now they're searching for it in a different way.
And you mentioned religion, and I mentioned at the top of the show religion, and is there a conflict between paranormal and religion? Or do you work hand in hand? That's a really simplistic way, I think, of saying a hand in hand. But what is the nature of that relationship?
Well, it's actually been kind of surprising and really interesting for me and for everybody in the group to find out that, we see movies like The Exorcist, and we see a lot of hype in the media. We see a lot of movies about, horror movies and scary things and movies about modern exorcisms. And as it turns out, the church is very much still doing these things and very much involved in the process of basically fighting the paranormal in the form of the darker side of the paranormal. The church continues to recruit psychologists to do psychological evaluations on people before green lighting, if you will, exorcisms. These things are kept quiet for good reason. I think they should be confidential. And the church also doesn't employ, but asks for the help of groups like PRS in rare cases when they deem them to be competent and ethical and people able to hold confidentiality, to come in and say, would you take a look at this? Is that just mental illness? Is that just hysteria? Is that just something natural going on? Or might this be something genuinely paranormal?
Why should it remain confidential?
Well, it's very sensitive. If you think about, let's just take the example of mental illness. If you had a close relative that started having psychotic experiences and hearing voices and going through bouts of being very upset and very emotional, kind of out of control for brief periods, you wouldn't necessarily want to air that to the neighborhood or necessarily to the country or put that in the paper.
But if it were some type of non-mental illness, if it were the real deal, wouldn't you want everyone to go, hey, look at this?
Well, there are ethics involved too. I mean, people, these are victims. Keep in mind, a lot of these people, they're being victimized, especially in demonic cases. I don't think they're willing to show that to the world just yet. A lot of them don't. A lot of them who are exorcised tend to stay away from any media, and a lot of them even tend to stay away from religion, believe it or not, once they're exorcised. And so, I mean, we in PRS, one of the things we value is confidentiality. And, we get a lot of people, we've had politicians who've needed help. And, and it'd be great, we'd be on 2020, if they allow us to go public with it. But, it's ethics, and, we're there for them first. And it'd be great to kind of, invite the media in and tell the story, but they have to do it on their own accord.